اللهم اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. I think we're all aware it's October 7th. It's been a year of genocide, a year of oppression, a year of killing. And I think it's normal for all of us to have this heavy heart. And if you don't, I would actually ask you to look at your heart. But I do want to make a distinction between a heavy heart and frustration. And part of that frustration comes, one of the main sources of frustration in general comes from when we have mismanaged expectations or false expectations. And a lot of people that I've at least talked to thought, you know what? We made a lot of dua. We campaigned. We went and protested. We sent the emails. We did everything. Where is the victory of Allah? It's been a year. And part of that mismanaged expectation is understanding the sunnah of Allah. And the sunnah of Allah in this case has always been and will always be that the victory of Allah takes time. People that are much better than us, people that were in much worse situations than us, the best of people, the Prophet ﷺ, 13 years of persecution. Gather that, understand it, internalize it. 13 years, not one, not two, not five. And with even after those 13 years, 10 more years of up and down, up and down. The sunnah of Allah is that these things take time. And part of the frustration, part of one of the misunderstandings, there's a quote that I really like, it's just very present for me, that people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. Planning. We wanted to see results. We've been a very insular community. We haven't been engaged. We haven't been part of the political scene. We haven't been... And then suddenly we want, where's the Nasr of Allah? We protested for weeks and weeks and weeks and months. Where's the Nasr of Allah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, right, that the people before us, do you think, am hasibatum, do you think, like it's like a question, it's like, do you think that you're going to enter into Jannah and you will not be tested like those before you all the way until the people before you and their prophet said, Mata Nasrullah, when will the victory of Allah come? Ala inna Nasrullahi qareeb. The victory of Allah is close, but that close is not from our perspective. The story of Yusuf alayhi salam, years of hardship and being away and being thrown into the well and being sold and the victory of Allah is near. But this morning I want to reflect for a minute. Why is this the sunnah of Allah? Why is this the sunnah of Allah? Why can't, like, if all the Muslimin make dua at the Kaaba, and can we get the Nasr of Allah quicker? Why do we have to go through this? Because this world is designed to be a test. That's all it is. لِيَمِيزَ الْخَبِيثَ مِنَ الطَّيِّبِ, to distinguish the good from the bad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created life and death for this one purpose. لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. Let me just see how you react in these tests, in these situations. Because here's the thing. When you zoom out and you look at Allah's perspective, and none of us can fully understand Allah's perspective, but what we understand of it, no soul will leave this world even a minute before its time. Every one of our brothers and sisters that left this world in this past year, it was their time. Whether there would be a war or not, whether there would be a genocide or not, those days and minutes and seconds were written before they were born. But the question becomes, for us, how did we react in this test? During the first couple of months after the genocide in Gaza, people started reminding us, إِن تَنْصُرُوا اللَّهَ يَنْصُرْكُمْ إِن تَنْصُرُوا اللَّهَ يَنْصُرْكُمْ. And I questioned myself first and foremost, a year after this, am I a better Ahmed? What changed for me? What makes me put my hand up and say, Ya Rabb, aqsamtu alayk, I beg you to give victory to the people of Gaza. What victory have I given? A year after this, are my prayers any better? Do I treat my spouse any better? Do I come to the masjid more often? Do I read Quran more often? Do I understand the Quran deeper? What has changed for me in a year? In a year that we've all felt the pain. And if nothing has changed, then ask yourself, and I am asking myself, am I succeeding in this test? Because that is the sunnah. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put these calamities, these wars, this tadafa, the sunnah of tadafa, all of this is by design to test us. Who will give victory to Allah and who will not give victory to Allah? And so my reflection this morning is, while it is a heavy heart, and every one of us I know in this ummah would want to see Nasrullah Qareeb, would want to see that feeling of victory, that feeling of oppression go away. But Allah is continuing to test us and ask us, are you oppressing yourself? Have you given victory to Allah first? And in what? So take account this morning and say, in the past year, with everything that has happened, what have I changed? Have I become more active? Or was it a temporary glitch? Have I donated more? And to what? Have I got closer to Allah? And if so, was it a moment, or did I actually sustain it? Or the dust has settled and people go back to their normal lives a year into it, and another year, and another year, and another year. And that's how 40, 50, 60 years of oppression go by. Because we as Muslims are weak in our connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, I'm not pointing fingers. This is but a reminder for myself. Because when I took stock of what has changed for me, I was not happy. I was not happy. And so, again, إِن تَنْصُرُوا اللَّهَ يَنْصُرْكُمْ. If you give victory to Allah, He will give victory to us. صلى الله على محمد وعلى